Chapter 1. Caer. Caer bit the bottom lip of her wide mouth to stop it trembling. Her creamy skin was pale with exhaustion from her journey. Silky blonde hair hung down to her shoulders as her blue-gray eyes surveyed the long white Irish cottage. A thick tangle of thorns hung around the door, its clusters of pink roses unseen, deep as they were in winter slumber. It was colder here than it was on the road through the village. A fine frost overlaid the little patch of ground where the cottage nestled. It was protected from the worst of the weather by a forest that encroached on the front of the property and by an alder tree that had seated itself over every inch of spare ground. The alder saplings were skinny, but almost 12 feet tall after 2 years of neglect. Caer felt a kindred spirit with the moss that trailed bravely from the hanging baskets. Reaching up, she retrieved the key from the inside of the second of 4 baskets. She wondered if it was a mistake to have come all this way on her own, and asked herself for the 10th time what she thought to accomplish. Time to think, she told herself sternly. Here in Ireland, she could regroup and come to terms with the end of their marriage. Surveying her surroundings now, she found herself wondering how the relationship had started off so well, yet ended in a spiral of arguments. She recalled Liam's arm firmly around her shoulders in this very spot just a few years ago. Her heart had leapt at his cheeky grin and smiling blue Irish eyes underneath chestnut hair. He grabbed her before he even unlocked the door and held her long and tight, kissing her firmly on the lips he had breathed. "It's so good to see you here. You're my Christmas present." She had smiled up at him, happy to be in his arms and on Irish soil again. Caer sighed at the memory and asked herself, why does love change? Just at that moment, the sun burst through the clouds, sparkling on the blades of grass as they stuck up through the frost. The sudden sparkle gave Caer the courage she needed. "I'm only 28, she told herself sternly. "I have time to start again." To prove her resolve, she squared her shoulders, pulled her slim frame up to her full 5'6" and pushed her key into the lock. As she hesitated, a robin sang from the holly tree. Caer turned to look, grateful for the welcome, and watched as the bird finished its song, then flew away across the yard and into the forest. I can do this. She flipped her hair over her shoulder in a final gesture of courage and dragged her luggage inside. The air fogged up in front of Caer's face. She should light a fire, but made no move to do so. Instead, she began to pull the dust sheets off the furniture, dropping them behind her on the floor as she moved about the room. She sighed with resignation as the sliding sheets revealed Liam's choice of purple couches, thick with purple cushions. In the other room, the bed was plump with pillows and quilt, untouched and protected all this time by the dust sheets. It was inviting, promising cozy warmth, even in the cold air of the unheated room. Kicking off her shoes, Caer shrugged her coat from her shoulders and let it fall to the floor and climbed beneath the quilt. She sank at once into the comfy softness of the memory foam mattress. It felt good to pull the quilt right up over her head. Caer shivered as she waited for her body to heat up the covers. I should light the fire, she told herself again, and closed her eyes sleepily.